Hello and welcome to ARCHLine.XP's update day for 2023. In today's event, we are excited to introduce you the new features of ARCHLine.XP version 2023, such as new fantastic rendering, ZWCAD plugin, color schemes, and many other. The complete list of the new features you can find in our Knowledge Center, help.archline.xp.com. Right after the webinar, the update action is coming. If you are a user of any ARCHLine.XP earlier version, you can update now the ARCHLine.XP 2023 version with 15% discount. The action ends at 31st of October. For the details, please contact your local reseller or visit our website archline.xp.com. And now, let's start the update day.
Hi everyone, welcome to our training day, where we will talk about what's new in the ARCHLine.XP 2023. Let's get started. Here you will find all the topics we will be discussing. And I also would like to draw your attention to the icons in the top right corner, where you will find our different articles and videos for all the topics we will discuss. So let's start with the new integrated rendering engine, which is an Osprey rendering engine. Let's talk about a bit more presets. In terms of presets or settings, the low, the Q1, the medium, the Q2, and the custom, the QX levels allows you to consciously create the best quality image in few steps. The real-time draft rendering or the preview render in real time is still available, which automatically tracks and regenerates the image when changes occur in the project. The Q1 settings is provide fast and preliminary images. We recommend to use it in the beginning of the rendering process, as it quickly produces a world quality image at low resolution. The Q2 presets produce a cleaner, better quality image. This is the next step of the rendering process. It is suitable for medium resolution and for approaching the final image. And finally, the QX custom settings, which can be adjusted to the user's need. Values can be individually specified based on the number of light sources and model complexity. With the default settings, which is the samples per pixel 10 and render pass count 30, it is suitable for creating the final image at Full HD or higher resolution. Now let's talk about these custom settings. The first one is the sample per pixel. This refers to the number of ray tracing samples calculated per pixel in the image. It adjusts anti-aliasing, which smooths the jagged edges and visible jaggies along the object edges and the shadows. Increasing the number of pixel samplings will result in a cleaner, better quality image. The value can be, of course, only modified in this QX custom settings preset. The usage recommendation or the suggestion you can see on the screen. You should choose a value higher than 10 for scenes with complex lighting and value lower than 5 for draft renders. There is a third recommendation, for example, in a classic style apartment where decorative moldings and profile door frames are typically present. These elements have a common characteristic that relative to the size image, very different light intensities run parallel to each other at very small distances, sometimes within a few pixels. In this case, we should apply the recommendation for the thin, rounded edges, meaning we should set a relatively high value between 50 and 80. The next custom settings is the render pass count, which represents the number of rendering steps. The Osprey rendering engine uses a progressive rendering method, which means that it further refines the generated image with each step. Increasing the number of iterations or render pass count will increase the time required for the rendering, but it will also increase and improve the quality of the image. The required number of iterations greatly depends on the scene being rendered. You can see the recommendations or suggestions for the usage here as well. Since with complex lighting, detailed geometry, and 5 textures, required value higher than 10, and the recommended number of iterations or render pass count for the final render is 30. Our next feature is the denoiser module, which reduces the noise in the entire scene after rendering is completed or interrupted. The image noise refers to the graininess in the image. The denoiser module reduces the area with the image noise, thereby improving the image quality. It is important to note that if the rendering process hasn't reached 50% yet, the denoiser can be disabled. If you stop the process, this dialog box will appear on your screen, and it will ask if you want to apply the denoiser. If you choose the no option, the rendering will stop immediately, and you will get this grainy results without the denoiser. If you proceed with the denoiser, you will get this smoother image in the right side of the screen. Our next point related to the rendering is the sharper detail post-processing tool, which is, when enabled, reduces the noise and enhances the sharp details in the rendering image. If you disable it, you will achieve a much different effect. The scene will appear much softer and smoother, as you can see on the right. This is a post-processing tool, meaning that the result will be immediately visible. Finally, let's take a look what changed in the rendering dialog. We already discussed the main changes in details, but another important aspect mentioned here is the sunlight settings, which is a crucial option because if the room receives insufficient lighting, the rendered image may have a bluish tint. To avoid this, we could use the cloudy daylight option in the rendering window, as you can see here, instead of the clear daylight option. The other important thing which is changed and differs from the previous version is that the background brightness scale is different. So we should choose 10 for brighter daytime scene and a lower value for the evening images. And now we can move on to the optimization, specifically focusing on the dialog panels. As you can see here, the stair panel has received a new design built on a familiar layout. So now we can use this in the 2023 version. And the room and area also have been modified, but not just modified, but expanded with new features. Now this new menu, the room book order, help us to change the order of the content of the stamp. Another major improvement is that the room name in the room stamp placed on the floor plan is now editable. You can now modify it with the marker or select it from this drop-down list with the arrow. Another great optimization is the graphical editing of object, images, and stairs directly on the floor plan. Now you can edit stairs not only in the dialog, but also by clicking on the arrow visible in the animation, as you can see here from the floor plan. When selecting an object, 2 arrows will appear. You can also see it here in the animation. The first arrow is used to indicate the direction, while the second arrow allows us to resize the object and graphically change its size. We have also modernized the design sheet. Managing them have been simplified with the introduction of the layout property dialog. Important parameters now can be directly adjusted using the markers on the drawing, as you can see here. So the drawing scale, the architecture scale, the phases, the wall fill pattern, and the color schemes also can be changed from the markers. We are all familiar with the find material command, but now it works in reverse too. All you need to do is select the desired material from the design center and then click on the gear icon and choose the Find Material command. This way, the program will show you where this particular material is shown and used on the surface. Editing a spline with control vertices generally provides a final control over reshaping a small section of it, then editing with the fit points. These control vertices are shown in purple dots and the fit points shown in blue dots. We have two more optimization topics. One of them is the calculator. The built-in calculator is used to input numerical values in the plan, of course. The calculator becomes available when you select a dimension or size label, and you can enter values directly using your number keypad, or you can calculate the values and formulas using the calculator functions. If you don't need it, you can switch it back to the classic dynamic input field, and you can disable it in the option unit and angles panel, as you can see on the screen. And our last and final optimization point, the automatic wall extension, which means that if the endpoint of the wall is fall inside another wall, the program will automatically create a T connection. Our next big topic is the color schemes, and I want to show you these icons here in the top corner. So if you click on it, I just clicked on it.
Hi everyone.
You will get our tutorial video, and you can learn more about the current topic. And here you can also reach our help desk, where you find very helpful articles and more details about the topic. So please check them out if you not already checked our tutorials and help desk informations. So the color scheme is a graphical override method that serves to display a group of elements or rooms based on any of their properties and present the content of your project in a very understandable way. The color scheme is based on an element type. As you can see here, you can choose the element type and then its property and an assigned value, which you can choose here. The color schemes according to the properties are templates that can be saved. So by changing the templates, the model can be presented according to different aspects. So color schemes help you understand the content of the project very easily. In addition to the room, other elements of the building can also be displayed, like cabinet widths or something, so that the customer can easily understand the complexity within a building or any part of the project. Our next topic is the cutaway 3D view. The extent of the 3D view allows us to narrow the complex 3D view down to the specific area we are currently working on or editing. This is useful when we work with a larger model, but focusing on a relatively small part of the design. You can initiate this from the View 3D model or from the bottom at the status bar with the third icon here, the Create Cutaways 3D View. After initiating the command, we should draw a rectangle. I will show you in a minute in this animation. So we will draw a selection rectangle on the floor plan to define the desired area, and the program will display a new 3D view. And this cut region can be modified as you wish, as you can see here in the screen. This cut region on the floor plan can be modified anytime by clicking on the rectangle in the 3D view and in the 2D view and selecting the offset command. Another important tool, which is also seen on the screen, these two markers, which allows us to update the cutaways 3D view on all levels or only on the active levels. Additionally, you can delete the selection rectangle itself on the 2D, but the 3D view will remain unaffected. A very good new feature is that ARCHLine.XP 2023 supports the EFC4. You know, EFC4 is an advanced schema of the EFC 2.3, and its most significant innovation is the export and import of the material textures. The next topic is the wall dimensioning style. From now on, the dimension set can be assigned to create a new wall. It is possible to get to set which dimension chain types are generated. The option can be turned on and off. We will check it out in ARCHLine in a minute. So here we are in ARCHLine, and we find this command in annotate building and wall dimensioning style. We have two defaults, the interior and exterior walls, but we can create our own, and already created it. So I delete it, and let's create a very simple style with the add button. I will name it own, and I choose edit, and I would like to show the opening exterior wall with opening width. I will edit, and also the exterior walls with corner points. For example, just to be a very simple example, we can also choose the dimension style of the openings, but I will not modify it now. So I will accept it with OK. The important thing is that we should mark it as currently used. So I click that, and which I mentioned before, here is the switch for enable or disable the automatic dimensioning. However, we can also access it when we draw a wall. So I will draw a wall, and if I start it, here you can find the automatic wall dimensioning again, so you can disable and enable it. So let's draw a very simple 3 walls, not too much. You can see now the automatic dimensioning is working, and I also set up the opening width. So I will place a window, and I also place a door here. And now you can see that all I set it up in the dimensioning style. We can see when I just started to draw my building. So it is a very useful new feature. Okay. Our next topic is the 2-point perspective. The command allows us for directly set the perspective view with just 2 clicks in the 2D view. In this case, the field of view will be horizontal. We will also check this out in the ARCHLine just for a moment. So we can find it in the view perspective, define view by 2 points. And if I choose 2 points, you can see the 3D view already changed, and I have a new perspective initiated from the 2D view. Our next topic is the design variants, which is very useful for the interior designers. Now it is possible to display different layer variations in multiple 3D windows, allowing for easy comparison of different versions of the design. The layer variations can be selected in the LOG or level of geometry settings. This is actually a more global change executed in the layer management. In fact, the layer variations now can be stored and associated with a specific 3D view. Let's also check it out in the program in a minute. I already have set up the layer variations. So you can see here we have a classic and a modern variation here. I will add a new 3D view to display 2 of them. and I will set it both to the stairs. Yeah. Okay, and now we will build our model, regenerate our model. So the view 8 is in the top. So I select the view 8 and I will select here the custom one. And for the layer variations, I want to go with the modern one for the first, and I will set it with OK, accept it with OK. And after the generating, we should see the modern design variant on the top. Yeah. For the next one, which is the view 9, I will select it. And I also choose the build 3D model. I select the view 9, also choose the custom one, the layer variation, and the classic. And I will accept it with OK. And we should see now 2 design variations in a minute in our project. Yeah. I will make it a little bit bigger. But now you can see we have 2 different design variations, which is a very good way to show the customer the variants of our project. Okay, let's see the next topic, which is the KBB multiple handles. Now, in the new version, there is an option to place more than one handle on the front of a storage furniture, allowing for addition of different handles to the same drawer or door. I also show you this in the program, just in a little small example. I have already prepared this cabinet, and I will select this drawer, and in the handle menu I will create a new one, and I will apply this gold one, put it on the left side, and I should offset it a little bit. And with the create button, I will create our first handle. Then with the plus button, I can create another one. I choose the same handle, I choose the other side of the drawer, and I will create it. So now we have 2 handles on the same drawer. To save time and not doing it on the other 2 drawers, there is an option to copy this and place it here on the second one, and I will also place it on the third one. And now we have done very easily this little small drawer. Okay. And basically, our last topic is the construction animation, which is visually describes the construction sequence with the program timelines. Construction simulation offers a visual representation of the project construction stages, and it is a perfect complement to your 2D drawings and schedules. It makes easy to understand the project. The output, as you can see, this 3D animation with short clips generated from periods and selections assigned to the periods. To initiate the command, you have to go to the View, Animation and Construction Simulation, and then this animation timeline at the bottom of the window will appear. By default, 3 rows are created for each new project, which of course can be modified, deleted, or additional rows can be added. These rows represent events, and or activities and are already named, you can add new rows, as I mentioned, in the activity menu, or delete them as needed. Sub-events or sub-activities also can be created within them, and different periods can be assigned to the specific activities. This Gantt chart also can be exported to Excel format for editing and providing further assistance in the design and scheduling process. Let's continue. What is a floating license? How it is different from an exclusive software license? In short, an exclusive software license allows only one user to access the software. A floating license allows an authorized group of users to access the software for shared use. This means that you must purchase a floating license if you want to share the use of the software among a group of users. If you have an exclusive license, only one user is authorized to use the software, who can transfer it to another computer using the deactivation and activation method, example from a desktop to a laptop. If you have the floating license, the software is available to multiple users. Let's see an example. Let's use a restaurant analogy. An exclusive license is like the reserved table in a restaurant. If the person reserving the table has not yet arrived, no one else can sit at the table either. A floating license is like tables in a restaurant. Anyone can come and take a seat, but if all the seats and tables are occupied, you will have to wait for a table to become available. So which version you should buy? Well, let's say you have 3 designers at your company who need to use the software, but not all of them at the same time. In this case, instead of buying 3 exclusive licenses, you can buy 1 or 2 floating licenses, which is definitely cheaper. The software can now be shared between these 3 designers. In summary, an exclusive license refers to an exclusive use of the software, while the floating license refers to the shared use of the software, which is often more cost-effective. Let's quickly discuss the 3D warehouse topic too. The SketchUp 3D warehouse is no longer compatible with earlier version of ARCHLine.XP. In 2021, the owner of the 3D warehouse, Trimble, changed the download policy. ASCII pay files can only be downloaded in the format of the last 3 years. So, if you want to use continuously the 3D warehouse object, ARCHLine.XP 2023 update is a very good decision for you. Our next topic is very interesting. It is about the point cloud. So the point cloud import extended with RCP and RCS file formats. ARCHLine.XP imports point cloud data from various file formats, now including RCP and RCS files too. The next news is about the ZWCAD and ARCHLine.XP plugin. As you know, BIM has become increasingly popular in the recent years, while the CAD software is still the most widely used software among architectural professionals. Therefore, the solution that integrates CAD and BIM software seamlessly can help you work efficiently in various design scenarios. The plugin allows direct transfer of drawings in DWG and IFC formats between these 2 programs, and avoid the tedious work with import and export tasks. ZWCAD and ARCHLine.XP provide efficient and effortless CAD BIM solution for those who are familiar with CAD but new to BIM. With this solution, they can take advantage of the superior 2D drafting capabilities in ZWCAD. Let's see the next topic, which is the split level height. Let's see how it works in ARCHLine. As you know, within the level, in the level manager, there is an option to specify the split level height. We set already 1500 mm level shift for both the ground floor and the first floor in this current project. Now, as you can see, I already created 2 slabs. One is placed at the 0 level and one is placed on the level shift. Let's see how we can tell that one of the slabs is placed on the level shift. If I click on it and select it, on the left side of the slab properties, above the energy parameters, you can see that we used a level shift. To determine whether a new element should be placed at the base level or the level shift, we can configure it in the status bar with the use of this icon. Now you can see that the level shift is disabled, but if I click on it, you can see I already added the level shift. Let's draw walls around the slab first for the base level slab. So I will draw it here, 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 and here. And we are done. Let's do the same at the level shift. So I enable the level shift and draw the walls here, here, and here. And we are done, and you can see already the result in 3D. If I select one of the walls at the level shift, you can see in its properties that the level shift appears in the absolute height, but its relative height is 0 compared to the level shift. Let's see how we can modify the already created walls in terms of level shift. So I'm going to draw some partition walls on the lower slab with the shift enabled. So I draw the walls, and now there are two ways to make this modification. One option is in the local menu here. When selecting an individual element, allow you to modify them one by one. So you can see now it is already placed on the base level. However, if you want to change settings on multiple elements, then you should select it. And after selecting, in the side menu, we can use this Add Level Shift button and enable or disable it to achieve the desired place of the wall. It is also possible to copy the floor plan created here to another level. I select the entire floor plan, then choose the level manager. It's already set up to have the level shift of the first floor, so I simply choose to copy it and select the first level. This automatically transfers the element drawn with the level shift. Now we are done with this. Let's go to the next one. The next one is the section drawing improvement, which means that the major architectural elements boundary lines are shown in bold lines, while the minor details such as wall layers and same materials on different objects are shown with fine lines. Light veins provide a clear distinction between different parts and materials. The next one is the variants for opening. First, let's take a look at the hierarchy where the variants fit in. So the categories are the top level of the hierarchy. The categories includes all elements. Categories items covers various shapes and sizes. The items sharing the same overall look and behavior are called styles. However, most elements have many parameters, which would require creating a lot of styles, even for small differences. For example, let's think about manufacturers produces one type of window, but in many sizes and only differ in the main dimensions, such as the width or the height. That's why we need the next level of the hierarchy, and that's why it's created the variants. So basically, the variants are elements that are differ only slightly from similar elements. Let's see in the program how we can manage them. So I opened ARCHLine, and in this project, there are 4 windows with a width of 1,200 millimeters. I'm going to modify the lower window width to 1,300 millimeter and create a variant using this button. If we check the width of the window now, it has been changed to 1,300 millimeters. Let's see how the variant we created appears in the design center. The small folder icon appears next to the element with variants. Choosing the fixed double window, we can already see the new variants what we created. We can also create variants from the design center. Let's explore that. So I select this window, click on the gear icon and select settings, and we reach this window. I will change the width to 1400 millimeter and save it as a variant. I name it and click OK. Now, from the Design Center, I will drop this variant to one of the windows. In the first dialog, I will click No, and in the next one, I can decide whether to replace the openings on the active level on all levels. I accept it with OK. If we look at the floor plan now, we can see that all 1200 millimeter windows have been replaced with the selected variant. Of course, the lower window was not changed because we already modified and created a variant for it. So basically, this is the essence of the variants, the ability to replace elements with certain properties in one step. It is also good to know that the variants are included in listings, reports, and calculations. They become independent elements, so we can use them as the base object. Okay, our next feature is the replace 2D symbols. The essence of this, that we often have objects that we download, making our top view quite complicated. This can make our design, the floor plan, a bit cluttered. Here is an example showing the difference between clear symbols and the chaotic top view. Symbol replacement has another purpose. It makes it easier to define the feel of objects on a schematic floor plan, which we use to create colored floor plans to help understanding the design. But we will talk about this later. Let's see the symbol replacement in the program. There are several methods for symbol replacement. You can replace the top view of an object with a rectangle box or a selected library group. Let's start with this table. In the local menu, I will choose Edit and choose Replace it with a box. It has been done, and you can see the top view of the table is changed. It is very important to note that this will not only change the local version of the object, but it will also update the object library. So this will be the default top view for this table from now on. Let's check it out. I will search it from the Design Center and place it again. And as you can see, the top view now is a box that I replaced the default top view. The next object is this chair. I will choose here the Replace 2D symbol command, and this dialog box will appear. I need to select a group from the library that I want to use. The reference points are essential here, which we will come back soon. The settings are the chair is correct, so I will accept it with OK, and let's check the change on the floor plan. It is done. Let's look at the bed. I choose the local menu, Edit, Symbol Replacement. Here, we can see that the top view of the bed is rotated. I will need to adjust the selected group accordingly. From the groups, I will choose this 1600 millimeter wide bed, since the symbol replacement is size preserving. So it will also change to 1800 millimeter because that's the size of the bed that's already placed on the floor plan. As I mentioned, I need to rotate the view to make a replacement correct. We can also reset the original symbol using the local menu, Edit, Restore 2D Symbol command. Now let's look at a factory object. Let's select Dining Chair 1. I will search for it in the Design Center. Here it is. And now if I place it and try to replace the 2D symbol, this dialog will appear indicating that it is a protected library item. To replace the top view, I need to create a copy, which the program suggests. I will delete this and go back to the floor plan. The next related function is the floor plan vocabulary. Access this under Interior Single Object Tools. But before we use this, first let's reset the chair symbol replacement. So yeah, I will replace and restore the original top view, and now we can use the vocabulary. So it is advisable here to choose names that may appear multiple times in the object names, such as chair, armchair, etc. And we need to select symbols for this name. So I will write chair and select this symbol here from the office folder. Yeah. Then the armchair, and also select a symbol for it. The next one is a sofa, and also let's check the living room folder and choose this one. And the last one will be the bed, and also select a symbol for it. I will select the same one as we selected before, and we will see what will happen. Now we are done with the vocabulary, so I will select the Tools menu and choose the Exchange All 2D Symbols command. The program will search through my dictionary or my vocabulary, listing all the elements in the project whose names match completely or partially with it. Let's see the result. So all replacements were successful except the bed. As we saw earlier, the bed was saved in the library with the wrong orientation, causing the new symbol to be rotated. We can fix this as explained earlier. Okay, so our next topic is the object contour definition. We already talked about this. This feature will help us create colored floor plans. As you can see, we can use it when the outer boundaries are not closed and cannot be filled. In this case, the program automatically calculates and offers the nearest closest contour for selection. If neither option is suitable, you can edit the profile. Let's see it in practice. So let's use this same floor plan and focus on the dining area. Let's start with the dining table and set a fill color for it. Let's choose a brown one and make it as a solid fill. And here we are, we have the table colored. The next one is the chair. I will choose a grayish color for it. It's done. We can see that it's not working as expected. This is where we can use the next command. Under Interior, Single Object, Tools, we have the Define 2D Contrast for Filling command, which allows us to modify the object fill. The program offers several contours to choose from. Let's take a look. I will choose the first one. Of course, I could edit it if I needed. Then I will copy the fill properties to the other chairs. So I select it and choose the copy properties, and I will create it for the remaining seats too. Okay, we are done. Now let's look at the lamp above the dining table. Another option to show the 2D fill representation is here. Let's see how this new command helps us in this case. Selecting the first option, I will make the necessary adjustment. And we can make this line to be curved. And as you can see, we get a very nice filling for the lamps. To finish our colored floor plan, let's also set the display order. So I first choose the lamp, and this will be the topmost. Then I will select the table and place it somewhere in the middle. And now we are done with the object contour definition. The next topic is the lights overview. Let's also take a look at this in ARCHLine. In this project, there are various light sources and light types. Let's use the command interior lighting show all lights to display all kinds of light sources, including the luminous text here, as you can see here in 3D. If a light fixture has multiple light sources assigned to it, you will see a number next to it. If you click on a light bulb, you can turn the light source on and off individually. The situation with the spotlight is similar. You will see individually the light sources of the spotlights. You can execute this command not only in the floor plan, but also in 3D, as you've seen in the presentation, and I will show you here. So you can also show it in 3D, and there will be displayed the light sources and also the number. And we reached the last topic, which is the Safe project. And in this topic, there are some new features to note. In the case of the backup archives, after 3 daily backups have been created, the program will only replace the existing backup files if more than 60 minutes have passed since the last backup. Also, the archive files will be permanently deleted, so they are not go into the computer's recycle bin. The automatic backup interval can be adjusted from 60 minutes and upwards. So, if you don't manually save your project during your work, the program will automatically save it after 60 minutes. You can see it here. The third new feature is that the access path of the security archive is now changeable. This is important because it can also be moved to another drive if there is insufficient space on the 3 drive. And that was all. Thank you very much for joining me today for the update day. I hope you liked our new feature and excited about them. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.